pair of shades. And you can't see my eyes unless my head is bent. You dig? We fly high, no lie.
And the inductee is Artemio Flores.
Woo! Woo!
I'm going to try to chronicle it, and first of all, I know the family very well, especially his uncle Simon, who I wrestled with, and his father, Art, who I also wrestled with. And starting from that point, we jump forward to the middle school years when I was the head coach at James Logan, and wrestling. We used to run the team, middle school wrestling tournament. And so, like I was all over the brackets, and we were always looking ahead. And, at that time there were 6th, 7th, and 8th graders, all three schools, and it was a good situation. And at the end of each year, I would go over the brackets and look at the 8th graders coming in and try to see who was coming up and all that kind of stuff, and try to recruit them to come out for the wrestling program. And I kind of noticed going into Art's freshman year, he didn't really have the best middle school wrestling time. He wrestled, and yet he didn't stand out, okay? And so the summer going into his freshman year, I called his father up, and I'm not sure if Artemio remembers this, but I was just curious because I wanted him to be in the athletic PE class, and I was just talking to him, and so that ended up happening, and we got him going. In his freshman year, he was a 103 pounder. He was the second man at 103s. But we knew we had something when we went to the Reno tournament at the Christmas vacation, and there's 105 schools there from everywhere, and he ends up coming in 4th, and our starter took 3rd. So he was right in it, and moving forward to the sophomore year, he was the starter. He won the league, he won the section, he went to state, and I believe he went 0-2, but that was okay for a sophomore. Next year, wins the league, wins the section, goes to state, and it didn't work out for him. But he had a great junior season. He placed in 5 counties, the biggest tournament around, and we were all over the place doing well. Senior year, well, between the junior year and the senior year, this is where things really picked up. And his father and him went all over to hell and back to find a freestyle tournament, and that's when things really changed. His father was behind him all the way, and that's kind of like what it takes in a lot of sports, but the sport of wrestling is a little unique, and that to go to a freestyle tournament, whether it's close or far away, you're getting up at 4 in the morning, and you're getting there for wins, and you're doing the thing, and by the time you're getting home, it could be 11 o'clock at midnight at night. You're traveling, a lot of travel involved. So the senior year comes, and he's ready to go. And he runs into a knee problem. He had an ACL problem that popped on him, and the decision was to move forward without surgery. I personally taped him every single day upstairs before practice, and he had an outstanding senior season. I think he finished with 68 pins in his career, 147 wins. He wins the league again for the 3rd time, wins the section for the 3rd time. And he gets to the state meet where he hasn't had very much success, and he becomes James Logan's first state champion.
Woo! Yeah.
To put that in perspective, and I'm not trying to demean any other sports, I should know better being the athletic director, but I'm the wrestling coach talking right now. California State meet, and there's only 3 other states in the nation that do this. When you go to the California State meet, and back in Mark's senior year, there were 13 weight classes, and now there's 14. When you win the California State meet with 1,400 schools in it, you are the best in the state at your weight class, and you're one of 13 people. And when you look at the mathematics of all that and how it all comes out, that's very difficult to do. And so I'd like to bring up our first state champion, Artemio Flores.
Yeah! Woo! Woo! Woo!
All right, thanks a lot. I'm not up here for my speech giving skills, so bear with me. I prepared something. So I don't forget anybody. I got a couple things I want to say. I want to start off by thanking the committee responsible for voting me into this Hall of Fame here. I had the privilege of attending the past couple years, and I'm very honored to be considered a member of this exclusive group of accomplished athletes and distinguished community members. I mean, the Hall of Fame here is full of professionals, Olympians, and college All-Americans, and then there's me, a high school wrestling state champion. So this induction is really special to me. I'm a local boy through and through. I was a Hilton Christian youth. I went to New Haven Middle, and then of course graduated at Logan. Even now I raise my kids here. You know, this is my community, and it's always been my home, and probably always will be. When I started out at Logan as a freshman, I decided to join this wrestling program. I didn't know what I was getting myself into. I mean, physically and mentally, it's got to be one of the toughest programs the school has, and there's some good programs here. And the guy who got it going, of course, right here, athletic director Tom Roosevelt. I mean, what can I say about Coach? He's a trip. Anyone who knows him would be lying if they said anything different. I never met anyone so dedicated to preparation and details. To me, the reason for his crazy preparation was Coach simply hated to lose. Hated it. And in his own way, he taught me losing is a part of life, but you got to do everything in your power to prevent it. So that was kind of cool. He created an environment in that wrestling room that breeded success. You know, success was expected up there. And believe me, it wasn't always, roses up in that room at all. We all had our issues there. He constantly pushed kids past their comfort zone. At the time, I thought he was crazy, really. I mean, I'm a kid. I thought he was crazy. But now, coaching, I see where he's coming from. I was part of the first 3 North Coast Section Championship teams for Logan Wrestling. And that was awesome. We walked into a tournament, everybody noticed, and everybody was nervous. I mean, we literally, excuse my language, kicked ass. My greatest memories of high school were being part of those teams and the connections I made with my fellow athletes and the many coaches who not just made me a better wrestler, but a better person. So I do want to say thanks, Coach Rosenthal. You helped me more than you think. I've always been blessed with people around me who care. I mean, my family's huge. There's a lot of them here today, and I thank you. Yeah. And they've always been there when they could. I'd be at tournaments, my duels would come up to me, here's what you gotta do, Artie. And all my cousins were there, always making noise for me, always getting loud. I got my mom. Her whole life, she worked hard to provide me with what she could. And even now with my own family, she helps out even more. So, you learn more the older you get. I have 2 healthy, hardworking kids. Artemio and Cheyenne, they're here. And as hard as it is raising 2 teenagers at once, there's nothing better than going through life watching them, grow and learn. I'm also very fortunate to have such a beautiful, special person as my wife. Kim, you're the best. Love you, babe. So many people have helped me in life. I could never mention all of them up here right now. But one of the most important to my success, of course, is my father. Some young men could find success in life on their own. Not me, though. If it wasn't for my dad, I wouldn't be here making this speech. Who knows where I'd be? He built me up my whole life. I guess you could say he created a monster. He was my wrestling coach, my trainer, my psychologist, and my dad. And I could count on one hand how many of my actual matches he missed. So he was always there for me. When I was younger, I'd be wrestling a match about to pin a guy. And I'd hear in the background, takedowns, Artie. And I'm like, dang it. Because I knew I had to let the guy up and then constantly just keep taking him down until the match was over. Took a lot of effort. But it was the training I needed. Every kid I wrestled wasn't going to be a fish, so he had me constantly preparing to wrestle the best. And it worked. Because of him, I got pretty decent on my takedowns. When I was down and out about a bad state tournament as a junior, I won 1 and 2 as a sophomore. After my junior year, pretty disappointed. My dad just told me, don't worry about it. You're going to be a state champ. And at that time, no Logan wrestler ever did that. So I just laughed. I literally laughed. And I thought it was crazy. Because at that time, of course, I knew way more than my dad. But a year later, heading onto that mat for my state finals match, with my family going crazy in the stands, I trotted up to my dad, and his calmness, he was just calm. He just put me at ease to go out there and do what I did, numerous times before that, and I was just win another tournament. I could only hope and work to be as good a father to my son as my dad was to me. I want to end this by thanking everybody who had a part in putting this evening together. I could only imagine all the work, you guys have to put in to do it. This is a special night for me. I'm proud to represent my family and Logan Wrestling. And I just thank all of you for being here and sharing this with me and all the other attendees. That's it. Thank you.
Outside, this light show